guys, it's Angie with the Mountain Girl Studio, and I'm here today to do this quick little tutorial. So it's a funny story how I ran upon this idea. So I was looking for some kilt pins, some rusty kilt pins that I know I rusted, and I put them somewhere in the midst of searching high and low, in and out, everywhere. I have not found them. So they are lost somewhere. But during that search, mad search, I came across these. Now, I already cut them, but they had like a little point out here and right here, and they went to like a file kit, and I've had these for, I don't even know, years and years and years. And they were just stuck in the back of a drawer that I hadn't seen them for years. But like I said, they had two little sides that came out because they would fit into a folder. And I thought, oh my gosh, what a great way, because my favorite color is clear, right? But I thought this would be so cool to like put things in and, you know, do collages or something in it. And so then I just started going crazy. So I felt the plastic, and it felt like a, you know, a packaging, like a blister package plastic. It's about that weight. So I remembered I had a die cut that makes tabs, which are, let's see, these right here. These are from a die that I have. So the blister pack, or like the thick packaging plastic, worked, and it was about the same weight. I started off using my Tim Holtz, the mini die cut, and it worked, but you got to be careful because it does crack. It does kind of crack like glass. So I went ahead and got my big shot out, and it cut it fine. And so then I was like, oh my gosh, I saw this die line over on the side. I would try this too. So this is a Tim Holtz die, and it's like an ephemera holder. And so I thought this would be really cool to put something in here, and it's see-through, and I love clear. I'm on a crazy thing right now, just a crazy train, thinking like, what else can I cut out and do? And you can I'll show you some of the ideas that I've been thinking of. I haven't put anything together yet. I was just throwing things together. So this is also a heavyweight packaging plastic, which went well, but I ran it through once and then back, but I'd recommend running it through a third time because some of the edges stuck and I had to cut some of the things out, and then some of these with an X-Acto knife. It wasn't terrible, but maybe if I would have ran it through one more time, it would have cut through. And then I thought, well, I have this plastic as well, and these are sheetings from your stamps, like your cling stamps right here. And I think these would work for tabs. I mean, it's not as thick, but if you fold it over, it would be fine for a tab. So, but maybe for this, you probably want something a little bit more sturdier because you're going to be putting things in and out. But anyways, I tried cutting out, and it worked. That one you only had to run once and twice, and then it'll cut through. So we're going to work on this and then some tabs, just some ideas I had. I also had this idea. I have these pins, and I've been doing them as toppers. You saw in my last journal that I had attached stuff to them and then made them toppers. This was a circle tab that came with the die tabs. It's just like by Spellbinders, I believe. And so I just pierced a hole, and then this is gonna close shut. I have some Encaustic Wax melting right now. I thought maybe I could put wax in there and some things and then squish it together. I don't know. I haven't even tried this, guys. I'm doing this right off the cuff with you, so if this works, the video will go up. But if it doesn't, I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's fun to experiment. It's fun to just, like, you know, it was just a crazy thing that I came upon, those clear tabs, and I think clear everything is awesome. So this was some of the packaging plastics. You can, like I said, it's pretty thick. I just wanted to show you that. So there's a couple ideas. I pulled some glossy accents. Just in case I need to staple it together. Like I said, I didn't even do this yet, so I thought I would just record it and see how it turns out and hope for the best. Okay, so like I said, I thought about it. I found these last night. I was like, no, I'm not going to start it. It was late, and I want to start something late. So, and I got scissors, and I probably some tweezers, So here's some trays. I found these trays at the Dollar Tree, you guys. I really don't love the color, but I love kind of like the tray. They were called project trays. So I thought they were just kind of fun for little tedious stuff like this. They came in handy. Like I said, the color's funky. But they work, right? So what I did was I went through my garden, and I just, you know, have some flowers blooming right now. So I just picked some flowers off, and I've had some drying for a while. This is like pine needles and just leaves and little flower petals dried out. Flower petals is a piece of eucalyptus right here. So yeah, so here's one that I kind of just was experimenting right now. And let's see if I can, so Jeff, my hubby, found another driver to help me do close-ups. So let's see if this works. So you'll have to be patient with me, guys, but I know you guys wanted close-ups, and I have a really nice webcam, and it was not able to, it doesn't have the drivers to record. It's just, anyways, they finally made a third-party driver to be able to record. So, do a close-up. So anyway, so this is just like a little leaf in there. And I'll do close-ups and stuff. Like I said, I have to remind myself that I can do that because I've had this camera for a couple of years, and I'm used to not being able to do close-ups. But I will try to remember. Okay, enough chit-chat. So I was thinking, like I said, I already finished this one. And I already just showed you close-up. So I don't know if I'm going to do glossy accents on the sides or whatnot, but I thought they would look just really cool as either tag toppers or, you know, on the side of a tab like this. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit. Yeah, I'm so excited that I can do this now. So yeah, I thought they would look really neat like that. I love the clear look. Alright, so we're just experimenting, you guys. I'm not sure how this is going to work out. But I'm going to grab my tweezers. And then I'm going to just open this up and just try to get these were just plucked off my garden, so they're going to have to dry in there, I guess. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit more. Okay. Let's see. Then you're probably going to have to pinch them to keep them in. This was a lot of fun, you guys. I was like so excited when I came across these. I was like, oh, you know, you just have that light bulb come on, right? That's how I felt. And then I couldn't sleep last night because I was like, oh my gosh. I was like thinking about all the things I could stick in there. And yeah, so that's kind of how that happened. Let's see. Like you said, if I, you know, had more time to think, I would have, but, you know, this is fun. Like I said, I don't know how I'm going to stick these in. I'm thinking just gluing the edges with glossy accent. So I think they stay pretty well. So, we shall see. So I don't want too much. I just want enough to just glue the edges, because I don't really think this is going to fall anyways. These little tiny pieces of foliage, or I guess they're petals. But, so there. You know, because I don't really want to see the glue too much either. And so, we'll see if I can just smash it down. Like I said, I don't think they're going to fall out anyway. I guess that works. It's pretty. It's not bad. You can also, like I said, the staple, you can put 2 staples on each side to enclose it. I'm kind of more for the clean look, and this is not bad though. There's a little bit of residue on the edges, you know, that you can see. The residue. It's not too bad though. Not too bad. And these are, like I said, these are still kind of fresh from this morning when I plucked them, so they're going to have a little bit of residue inside. But not bad. I mean, the glossy accent seems to stick. And then you just want to put your glossy accents or whatever you're going to use to glue it on your... So I think that looks really awesome, you guys. This is really cool. Just like that. I think it'll be really neat. It's just something so cool and different. I love it. Sorry for the glare. This is going to have some glares. No, I don't know. It's not really sticking. I just don't think that they're going to fall out that easy anyways. So I don't know if I'd worry about gluing this type of stuff. We'll see. We'll put that on the side. So there's one idea. Here's the idea. And then the second idea I had was, I'm going to use these ones. Yeah, because I'm going to put foliage in those. So I thought just doing some bits in here. Let's see, what colors do I want? I just threw some thread in here. Maybe this one. And then maybe some cheesecloth. And I had some tulle. So you want things that are kind of, I mean, for me, since this is clear, you want to keep it clear. I mean, you don't have to, but that's just what I'm going for. And then I like to kind of roll my bits up a little bit, just so they kind of get entangled with each other, so it makes it look more natural, I guess. And then I was going to put a saying in there, you guys. How cool is that? I'm just going to stick that right up in there. For this, you know, for saying in there. Now this you might have to glue down because they might pull out the sides. I'm not, you know, like I said, I have never used these for a long time. Little office tabs. I guess I'll call these clear embellishments. Clear embellishment tabs. That's kind of cool. So you see that? And I think I'm going to try to do with my tiny attacher, just staple it. You could probably, I don't think I would do this. I mean, if you guys have like a heavy duty sewing machine with like a really heavy duty needle, you can try to tackle that, but I would not, for me, not knowing, so I wouldn't recommend it because I live out in the country, so for me to have to break a needle and go get one is time consuming. So for me, I'm just gonna figure out how to do it this way. Now I probably wouldn't want, see how that's like embedded in there, and you can stuff like the threads that come out. I think it's kind of cool because to me, I'm a very tattered artist. I'm making you sick, right? Anyway, so I just did a staple, Tim Holtz staple. And that did not go through very well. See, this is why we experiment. Maybe, let's see. I really think these are going to be fine once you glue the tabs down. Glue it, you know, well. Thinking, because I haven't done this, so I think I'm just going to glue it on to the edge. And I think it will be fine. I'm not going to glue it on this one, but I really think it's going to be fine. I know I keep saying that, and then it doesn't work, but I just think it's a cool idea. So I think I'm just going to glue those and figure out, you know, I guess if you pull on it, it probably will come out. So maybe if I try some glossy accents on the back here and just squish it down, it'll keep the fibers and stuff. And what you could probably do, another thing is make your little collage first and then stick it in here. So I'm going to try that because I really don't want to have the glue seam too much, but you can also put a word back here and then a word back here. So we'll go with that. We'll see how good that glue holds up sticking on the plastic. I also have, let's see, I have other glues too, but glossy accent seems to be the most universal for stuff like this. So we'll let that sit over there and see what that does. And then I just had another idea with this little circle. I was just going to maybe put this in there, maybe some foliage, and then I was going to put it in wax. So we see if that works out. So I use pure Encaustic Wax. It's not, so it's an R&F product, and if you're going to get in it too, please, I do have a video on basics into encaustics. I'm not an expert. I love it, but I know the basics. All wax is toxic, if you guys didn't know that, especially if it's not at the right temperature. So you burn wax, encaustic wax, between 180 and under 200. You kind of find that spot, but you don't want it smoking. So make sure you guys do your research if you get into encaustic. I love it. It's amazing, but it can be an irritant too if you have issues with smelling and stuff like that. So just gonna do some, maybe make a little bit collages or something here. Maybe little pieces. Then I was thinking just glossy accenting it. Let's see. Let's pull these off first, just to tack it down a little bit, and then I'm going to put wax in it and then smush it together and see what happens. This is like I said, a piece of eucalyptus. So I'm going to put this in here, and then my wax is over here. So I'm going to come over here really quick and pour my wax in here, and then I'll come back really quick. Okay, here. So then I got my wax down, and this is hot, so be careful. And then I'm just going to close it together. Let's see. I'll have to do some cleanup. I think that's kind of cool, you guys. Yeah. But it does stick down, you guys. You can even start off like this and then put something on the top of this, and not even so, you know, embedded inside. You can put it on out like this if you wanted to. Right here. And do a little collage on the outside of it. But yeah, this one, I don't know if I'd use wax. I mean, it looks kind of neat, but it's a little messy too. This is neat though. It's an idea. This is totally an experimental video. I mean, it turns into something really cool, but the wax, I'm not quite sure. So here's what the wax inside, you guys. So maybe I would do the glossy accents or another glue experiment, but this is just the idea of using clear tabs, right? The glass or the wax does stick, does like mash it together. You just got to do some cleanup with that, but it does look really neat, I think. So the other thing we were going to do was this. And so anyways, we have this one finished. I'll do a close-up actually. So we did these three. So we experimented with glossy accents. I probably need a more heavier duty staple to staple it down, but we did use the glossy accents on there to kind of glue that, so that's drying. The glossy accents really didn't glue down on the sides there, but I don't think you'll have a problem with this little foliage, especially when it's going to be drying inside there, because these were just picked today. And then we did the wax. So I'm going to do this last one, and then we're done. And what I'm going to try to do is do something different. Like I said, I kind of squish everything up a little bit. Okay. See how it's going to look in there. I might even do another piece of string, just give it some contrast. I might have to staple this one down just because I don't want any of these little pieces to fall out. You could do, I also do a stitch down here, which I might go do just to keep the little pieces together as well. I just pull some out, but I really don't mind the thread sticking out because I'm very, like I said, I like texture and I like layers, and so let's see here, straighten that up. I mean, I could try, oh, you know what I could do? I could poke 2 holes and put eyelets, or not eyelets, but brads in here. Okay, so I think there's a little guide in here too as well, so you can follow this little guide in here. So and this is tough stuff, you guys. This is having a hard time. Oof. That was loud. Sorry, guys. Plug your ears for that one. This is tough stuff. Like, okay, awesome. All right, well, I'm gonna go do this other one. Plug your ears. Oh, that one was better. That was hard. Okay. Yeah, and it stays in, you guys. It's not, then you can kind of just, you know, fluff it around maybe. Pull out a little bit over here. And move around a little. Like I said, you could glue all this together first or run a stitch down it. This was just something fast I did for you guys. So, like I said, it's a total experiment. And that's what we do as artists, right? Just go for it. So, this is just a basic idea. You guys can find different glues to use this with. When I find a better glue, I mean, the gloss tack seems to be okay, but I will let you know. I'm going to zoom this up a little bit, or focus. Let's see. Focus. Don't get sick, you guys. Alright, so here's the encaustic one, which is kind of messy and a little bit different. There you guys go. But look how cool it is. It's still neat. It's very organic. Like I said, you can start it off this way, and then you can do a collage bits, and you know, or a number like 5 or something. You could do something like that still. I mean, it does glue it down. It doesn't seem to open up or anything. It just needs some cleanup, which is easy to do. Clean up with the wax, and then do like some collages, or you know, a number or saying, or you can put the saying inside. I do like how the wax kind of is getting the leaf to go transparent. I think this is a cool pick for your journals on the top. I like things to stick on top. So that was the encaustic wax. See if we can do it halfway now. So yeah, see, that's better. So here is this. This is the Tim Holtz. Sorry for the glare, you guys. This is the way it's going to happen right now. But yeah, so there's that one. And then we did this one. That's better. And then this one. Like I said, I'm going to finish these up. And in the description box, I will tell you exactly what ended up working for me as a glue. Like I said, it's your preference on what you use as a glue. And I just thought this was a fun idea. I get sparked from looking for something else. where I was super frustrated. I don't know if anybody else deals with that, where you get so frustrated you're like, oh my gosh, I can't find something that I know I have somewhere. But yeah, I hope you guys will give this a try. I guess I'll call these clear embellishments. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye. Hey guys, I'm back, and this is the second part to the first video of me showing you how to make some clear ephemera / tabs. That was an off-the-cuff video. I usually, if I have an idea, I like to work through it and get all the kinks out and then do a tutorial and show you exactly what to do. I didn't have that much time this morning, so I kind of did it off the cuff, and we kind of had some hiccups there, so after I stopped recording, I had some time to finish it up really quick, and so I thought I'd go through the pieces that we did earlier, and I did a couple other different things to some tabs, so I'd show you those as well, and also let you know how I did those. Anyways, stop rambling. Okay, so we did this little pocket. This is an ephemera holder pocket in the clear one. So I didn't do anything much other than I did take those pieces out. Sorry for the glare, guys. I took those pieces out, and then, like I told you, I usually do it with hot glue gun. I did not have my hot glue gun on. It was totally unprepared. But anyways, it was fun to do it anyways, right? So I took those bits out, glued them down, and then just stuck them back here and put the brad back in it. So it's still floating, other than if it pull it out and it'll all come out in one piece, but it's in there pretty good, you guys. So I thought that was fun, and I'll do a close-up. I'm still trying to get used to this close-up stuff, so bear with me, you guys. Okay, just so I can show you a little bit better. So yeah, so see, it's still floating in there, and all I did was just glue the bits with some hot glue, and then I smash it down so that the hot glue is flat. I don't like lumps in my work, and sorry guys, this is going to have glare with this project. So yeah, so there's this one. So this one turned out really neat, and there's what it looks like. Sorry, I'll try not to glare as much as I can. But this is shiny plastics. And so we'll take the second one. Now these were the flower ones that I had done, and I put a piece of material behind it, like it looked like it was stitched. It's just a ribbon that has this running stitch down the center. So I thought those were neat. Those turned out really neat. So these are just like pieces of pine, some leaves, and some flower, like little tiny miniature flower petals that I have out in my garden. So we'll do a close-up of that really quick so you can see them. Let's see, right there. So here it is, you guys. Aren't those neat? How they just stick in there. And then what I was also going to say, I tried this Tim Holtz staple earlier and it didn't work, but then I got it to finally work. You just got to be a little bit forceful with it. Let's see if I can get that. There we go. You got to be a little bit forceful with it. And then what I did was, so after I stapled it, I turned it around and used my pliers. I'll show you this one more time. Use my pliers to reinforce the staple in the back. So I stapled with my Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and then I took my pliers and just squeezed down the staple in the back so they'll stay. So there is that one. So this one was the one we did with the Encaustic Wax, and all I did was like a little collage, a little itty bitty dangle right here. I'll do a close-up in a minute. So all I did was do the stick pin, and then we put the wax inside, and it's holding up really good, you guys, since it cooled really well. It's not popping open, but if it got in the cold, it might pop open, or if it got too hot, it might pop open. But so far it's good. You could probably maybe put a staple or something up here, or maybe some glossy accents right here or here. I'm not sure. Right now it's pretty stable, and I'm not worried about it. And so I just did little collagey bits. on it, and I'll zoom in or do a close-up so you can kind of see there how that turned out. So there's just some leaves and some petals and some doilies and a little and sign, and then this little itty bitty dangle that I put there. So I think that turned out really cute. And then I think the wax just looks really neat inside of it too. And that's just the pin. So there's that. That one we did. And then here was the other one that we did together. So this was just collagey bits and then another word and then the staple to staple it. So when you attach it to your page, it's just going to go in here. And I'm not, this is the only point. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to use to glue it with yet. I guess if it's going on like a page, you might not see the glossy accents if that's what I choose to use. It just looks so neat, like as a tab, either on the top or on the side. I just think it looks really neat. It's just a different way to do it. So the staple's holding really well. Like I said, I haven't glued anything down yet because I need to finish that project before I put these in them. But I'll do a little bit of a close-up so you can see this one. So there's that. Never fail, you guys. Right? Look at all the tulle in there, and I have string, I have thread, I have lace in there, cotton lace. So I just think these are so fun, and this is what the back looks like. And again, I glued down my bits with some hot glue before I put it in here, and they're really secured, you guys. I think these are this is gonna work. So that's that one. And then let's see what else I come up with. So this is just a simple one. This is just some lace, some cotton ribbon, and then just one leaf. So we'll do a close-up of that really quick. So there's that one. Sorry guys, the glare is going to kill you, I know. There we go. So there's that one. I just want to show you the details since I can now. Like I said, I apologize 100 times. I'm still learning how to use this new plugin so I can do close-ups. So there's that leaf right there. And I'm going to just hold this right here and I'm going to bring up the next one. So the next one I did the same way with the leaf. And then I did some wire work. I just put it in the middle there and then just coiled the wire and then just put a dangle right there. I think that turned out really neat. Let's see here. I just keep my hand right here, we're good. And then just did a staple. And like I said, once you clamp these down on your edge, you're gonna be fine. Nothing's falling out other than it will right now, but I have like pine needles and kind of some bulky stuff right now. But once you glue it down, I think it's going to work just fine. So there's that one. And so these ones, I just left plain for now, but I did a little hole right there, punched a hole, and then you can put, I was thinking, you know, I kind of think since it's clear, maybe do some transparent, like paper that's been dipped in wax, kind of transparent would look really neat in here. A little saying, some numbers. Like I said, I'll probably wax mine first and then put them in here so I can keep that transparency going on, because that's kind of why I did this, because my favorite color is clear. But I thought that was cute, so that'll be really neat dangling on the edge of your page. Okay, so there's that one. And then this one I stamped with some Stays On ink, the number 5, of course. We know I am obsessed with 5 and numbers and letters and keys, right? So this one, so I stamped on the 5, but it was a little bit dull, so I took a fine point Sharpie marker and then went over it. And it's kind of it's rustic, obviously, but I thought this was really neat, and I put some thread in there just to show you, so you can see the 5 better, but it even looks really cool like that. I mean, I wouldn't have all these threads sticking out, but But this is what it looks like without the thread. And that would be really neat. Let me get that page really quick. So it would be like this. Doesn't that look neat, you guys? How cool is that? Let me pull it out a little bit. I just think it's really neat. I love stuff like this. So there's that idea. And then here's another one. Like I said, just another little dangle. You can put what in your, like I said, whatever you want in there. It'd be fun. Like the thread looks really neat in there too. Yeah. So I hope you guys liked my tutorial on the fly. I apologize. I hope that was okay. And so I thought, why not record it and just fly by the seat of my pants. But it's fun. Look at how transparent they are. They're so fun. I hope you guys give these a try. If you do, please tag me so I can see your take on them. If you come up with something different, let me know. If you come up with a magic glue that just works perfect, let me know. Like I said, this is, you know, run with this idea and let me know how you evolve it, I guess. I will always evolve my work as well and let you know if something works better than what I came up with before. So again, thank you for watching and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.